Good morning and welcome to our brand new Montana This Morning newscast. My name is Jill Valley. This is a new era for us here at the Montana Television Network. We're bringing you your local news, weather and sports tailored to your community. You'll still see your favorite reporters in your towns, and they'll tell you the stories that impact you. We do have a lot happening across Montana this morning, so let's jump right into it and take a look at our top stories.
Took 2 steps and leaped, and you could hear the roar.
We share the harrowing story of a bear attack in Glacier National Park.
It's the greatest event in rodeo, in my opinion.
Saddle up because the Dutton Ranch Derby Rodeo is back for its 7th year.
It's a big dog over there. And then I looked again, I said, that ain't no dog, that's a bear.
And a black bear went tree climbing in Lockwood this weekend.
From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
A lot of Montana saw a fair share of rain and clouds over the weekend. What is ahead for the work week? Well, let's take a look at our first forecast on this Monday morning.
All right, well, this was the big story yesterday. We had a lot of hail rolling through the area, and we've got lots of video and photos that we'll show as we go along this morning. Unfortunately, not going to be able to show all of it. We got inundated, but just want to give you an idea of this. That's Lockwood. Scotty sent that in yesterday. Just some reports of some hail. Now, this is not a complete report. We still have some numbers coming in, but this is kind of give you an idea. Penny-size hail and molt. Here in Billings, reports of penny-size hail as well. Hardin, we had mothball size, Alzada tennis ball size hail reported there too. Also, we had some strong winds across the area yesterday. Baker 67 miles an hour, Sheridan 66, Billings 66 miles an hour, although at the airport we officially had about a 47 mile an hour gust. This is what it looked like yesterday, but we're in the all clear today. But do we have more severe storms heading our way? We'll take a look at that with the main forecast coming up.
Nearly 2 weeks ago, a man was attacked by a grizzly bear in Glacier National Park. He is now speaking out about that horrifying encounter. The attack happened along this trail in the park back on May 28th. Daniel Crago was hiking when he encountered a mother bear and cub. Now he's on his way to recovery, and he is sharing his story and spoke with Scripps News' Michael Chen.
At what point do you realize you're in trouble?
When I saw how close the bear was.
Before the panic that afternoon,
Last photo before the incident happened.
there was serenity.
Like peace, I love being in nature.
Crago was hours into the last hike of nearly a week of hikes with a friend in Glacier National Park when he split from her to cross a rocky snowfield to get a few photos as he was walking back over the snowfield.
And it was a smaller cub grizzly, but it was past me already.
Moments later, he saw a larger grizzly about 15 feet above him on the sloped terrain.
Did as you're told, alert the bear so you don't catch them by surprise. I said, hey bear, and as soon as it looked right up at me, it charged at me and leaped, and you could hear the roar, and I just stuck my arm up, kind of thought like, this is it.
Crago says the bear locked onto his arm and dragged him more than 20 feet before letting go and running off. His arm, a grisly sight.
Completely split open, forearm, just bleeding out. I was just in panic mode, like thinking I'm gonna die.
Rushing to his aid were his friend and several other hikers, including a doctor who applied a tourniquet to slow the bleeding. About an hour later, he was airlifted to a hospital.
Open wound, complete fracture of both bones in my forearm.
Crago undergoing 3 different surgeries, blades inserted into his arm.
I was extremely lucky the bear missed the major artery in your arm.
Crago also grateful he raised his arm, likely avoiding a bite to his head or neck area. But mostly, he's grateful for his Good Samaritan.
A new perspective on what's important. Whatever else is going on in life, I'm alive.
The bear attack comes 3 weeks after a Florida hiker was killed at the park, and that was the first fatal attack in Glacier since 1998. Officials say Crago's bear was likely startled and acted defensively. But the incidents are part of a troubling pattern. Last week, we learned a grizzly bear was shot and killed near Frenchtown after it charged a 15-year-old who discovered it breaking into his family's chicken coop. MTN's Emily Brown spoke with the Huson family.
I'm Emily Brown here in Houston, where a bear encounter could have ended very badly. It was huffing and ran around this chicken coop straight at a 15-year-old.
My wife heard the hounds barking. She heard the chickens kind of rustling up here, so she snuck around, take a quick peek, and didn't notice anything. About 20 minutes after getting to work, got a message from the neighbor stating a black bear was coming up their driveway carrying a white chicken or duck in its mouth.
The family heard the chickens making noise later in the evening. They went to check it out, and turns out the bear came back for seconds.
Colton got up to this spot here somewhere pretty close, and that bear was just around the corner, and he come huffing around the corner.
It was pretty scary, but I didn't know it was a grizz. I happened so fast.
A 270N quick reaction may have saved Colton Richardson's life.
I was like, I better make a good shot at first, because I might never have another shot again, and he might get me.
The bear ran away, where it fell into a ditch.
I was extremely shocked when we rolled the bear out of the ditch. We thought it was a cinnamon black bear.
The Richardsons called Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks, who removed the bear from their property.
It's the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service that takes the lead, and so the investigation is still ongoing.
The Richardsons are thankful that the situation did not have a worse outcome.
Reality set in. That was an extremely dangerous position we were put in. Riker, my little boy, could have been easily the one just to walk up here to check things out. Could have had a lot different circumstances.
Now they plan to install an electric fence, something FWP recommends.
And that prevention piece is what keeps us away from most of these incidents.
We live in wild country and there's wild animals here, but the last thing you ever think would be something that could potentially get you.
In Houston, Emily Brown, MTN News.
Lockwood neighborhoods had an unexpected visitor yesterday as a black bear made its way through town, climbing trees and catching a lot of attention. The bear didn't cause any trouble, but he was pretty close to homes and even the Lockwood schools before neighbors say authorities arrived on the scene. MTN's Charlie Kleps caught up with a longtime resident who was quite surprised by the community's latest guest.
Everything in this Lockwood neighborhood seems normal now.
I was like, wow, you don't see that very often.
But just hours earlier on Sunday, these streets were being roamed by a surprising visitor.
It's a big dog over there. And then I looked again, I said, that ain't no dog, that's a bear.
You heard that right. Longtime Lockwood resident Jay Cormier captured these photos of a bear walking the streets near his house on Loretta Drive.
Holy crap. So substitute the other word, but holy crap. From where I see him to where I live is maybe 100 yards, 150 yards as the crow flies.
Cormier says the bear hung out here, climbing this tree just a few blocks from the Lockwood schools.
You know, like I said, you catch mountain lions here, deer and other kind of animals all the time, but never a bear. So it was really interesting to see. I quite enjoyed it, as a matter of fact.
It's not believed that the bear caused any trouble, and while Cormier wasn't frightened with both Fish and Game and Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office on scene, he did say that on a different day when school was in session, there could have been problems.
Bears are unpredictable. Even though this one was young, you can't predict their nature, what they might do. A bunch of kids could have, oh, look, that bear, let's go run and pet him. Bears don't like that.
Still, it's a moment unlike anything Cormier has ever seen.
In all my life, I'd never seen a bear, other than on TV, go up a tree like that. It was quite interesting.
In Lockwood, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Now, these are just a few bear encounters that have happened so far this year in Montana. Last fall, I interviewed the creator of a podcast that's called Tooth and Claw. Bear biologist Wes Larson and his team talk about not just bear attacks on humans and why they happen, but other dangerous encounters we might have with wildlife. Larson is from Missoula and worked extensively in Yellowstone National Park. There are hundreds of episodes, but a favorite of mine is a 3-part series on the infamous Night of the Grizzlies. That's where 2 women were killed in Glacier Park by 2 different bears back in the 1960s. You can find that podcast on most platforms. Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks is taking action to address safety concerns at a popular fishing spot. In this week's Fish and Wildlife Report, our Chet Lehman shares the details on new security measures at Carter's Bridge in Livingston.
That's the Carter's Bridge. And this right here is the Carter's Bridge fishing access site on the Yellowstone River. It's very popular as a put-in and a pull-out for floaters on the Yellowstone. It's also a day use area only, but some people have been abusing that over time, and there has been acts of vandalism, and it's a safety issue in the overnight hours. Recently, FWP took some action to verify that this will remain a day use area only.
So those normal daylight hours are when this site has been open historically. And so what this gate is for is to enforce those daylight hours of when it's open and available.
This area gets a lot of use, and that means there are vehicles in here all day long. If you get a late start when you get ready to get out, you won't have to abandon your vehicle overnight. You just won't be able to drive in when the gate is down.
If you happen to be floating the river and you have unexpected delays and you're trying to get out of the site after 10 p.m. due to extenuating circumstances, this gate will still open and allow you to exit as you approach the gate from the inside.
Jacobson notes for the vast majority of users of Carter's Bridge fishing access, this gate will only be a feature sticking into the air on the way in and on the way out. Its use will only affect those who have abused this as a day use area only.
We want to maintain a safe place for people to recreate, and also, just minimize, the types of activities that could cause damage to the resource or create safety concerns, especially during the overnight hours.
FWP continues to put the finishing touches on security here at the gate, and there is no time frame for when this gate will actually be used in the overnight hours. Again, a reminder that this gate is only used to keep people out from 10 to 5 o'clock in the morning. And if you by chance get caught late on the river and your vehicle's inside, you'll still be able to get back out. This week at the Carter's Bridge fishing access site south of Livingston.
Well, yesterday, in terms of the temperatures, pretty seasonal here in Billings. At the airport, we hit 74, right on target where we should be. Our low of 46, just a little bit below average. Top gust yesterday of 47 miles an hour. More rain in the forecast, but wind. Details coming up.